Hey, it's X coming here with I guess, a rant or a discussion regarding um, the, the Hebrew Israelites, or the so-called Hebrew Israelites, or Hebrew, or whatever you want to call them. Something that's gonna have to, get off my chest or mind. I have nothing better to do, so I'm just gonna, kind of rant about them. I was an Israelite or Hebrew Israelite for what, 4 years. Fortunate 4 years. I learned a lot. Like as I was coming in, it made sense. Like things, made sense because I've always wondered why, so-called black people always, why were they behaved in a certain way? Why were they treated in a certain way? And I was looking and I was looking, and the only answer that I guess satisfied me was the fact that we went against our God, which is why we were in this position that we're in. So at the time I was so satisfied with it. I was satisfied. But before that, I'm always learning, always questioning, always searching for things. And before I actually got into the Hebrew Israelite thing, I wanted, I would say I was like bloodlusted. I wanted, revenge. I wanted to get back at, you know, the people that have, caused us to be in this mess. That the people that are, so-called in charge of this world. I wanted to fight back. But then I found, I'm not going to say their name, but I found a Israelite camp and or nation or whatever, and I just toned down. I went on to adapt to their style. Their style was more, I would say, passive. Their style was more everything is spiritual. So you know, just kind of wait for God to deal with it. But anyways, as I'm in the so-called truth, what they call it, as an Israelite, things made sense a little bit, but at the same time, like it it, it's not all fact. You have to, put faith, and you have to believe, and faith and believe. You got to be abstract with certain things, and again, I'm trying to adapt it, and I'm using, spirituality as an excuse for everything. Anything that happens, I'm saying, oh, spiritual. This happens, it's spiritual. This happens, it's spiritual. This happens because of God. This happens. Again, I'm going back to this, Christian mentality where it's back and forth of saying it's God, it's the spirits, it's this. But after a while, you just you go back to your more concrete. You go back to your more factual. Your so basically, I would go back to being more factual. The things that made real sense. It's at the end of the day, the Bible and Hebrew Israelites or whatever you want to call it's all, whether or not it's actually real or not. It's all BS basically. Reason why is because some of the stories are so, it's like it's so unrealistic. If those things could happen in those times, why are we not seeing those things happening now? It just doesn't make any sense. If people can talk to God then, why all of a sudden stop now? And if certain someone talks to God, and why can't I? It just doesn't make any sense. And even on the Bible, it's like it's always the times where, God actually spoke to people was when they were always alone. Like, that was the only time. Like, why couldn't God just, again, speak to everyone and say, hey, I'm God, do what I do? Why just speak to one person? One person. It just doesn't make sense, because he speaks to one person, people mess up again. It's the same cycle. Like, one person mess up again. I was like, it doesn't make any sense. And to me, like, this, again, this God of the Bible, he's the Hebrew Israelite God. He's really not a good God. He's to me, he's like a narcissist. He wants all the praise, all the attention, all of this, but your people have been suffering, and what do? Even if they're Hebrew Israelite or not, you're not doing anything. Like, you're just sitting there saying, oh, worship me, worship me, worship me. The same things over and over and over again as we're, dying, and so much things are going on. The God of the Bible just sits there and just allows things to happen, but says, oh, worship me, worship me, worship me. It just doesn't, it's not a God that, I would, honor again. Even if the God is real, I'm or not, I have, it's not a God that I feel is a great God. Because going back to the first book of the Bible, Genesis, the first story, again, you see where God messes up. But this God has so much power and so much control. Why does he allow a snake in the garden? Why does he allow a snake to talk? Why didn't he intervene with the snake? But yet he can intervene with Adam and Eve. Yet he can intervene with Moses and everyone. It just doesn't make sense. And you just have to, I think for most people who are Israelites or whatever, I think they're just doing it for revenge. Like, they just want payback. It's not necessarily about truth. They just want so-called white man to pay, or so-called evil black people to pay. That's what they want. I think it's more of a revenge thing, because I came in for revenge. I came in for I wanted to rule again. That's what I wanted to do, and I feel like, again, even when you watch these street preachers of Hebrew Israelites on the street, it's the same thing. All they talk about is going into slavery. You're gonna die. You're going this. It's so they're so violent. They're so aggressive. Just like the God of the Bible is. He's or she or whatever is aggressive. You have all this power, all this control. You're saying your love and your compassion, and all of this, your everything. Then how can you allow such humanity or people to behave in such a way and not say anything? It doesn't make any sense. I think a true God would protect everyone and just prevent such evil things from happening. But with the Hebrew Israelite God, it's like you just have to make things up as you go along. Like, you have to justify everything for this narcissistic God, who can't really justify it for himself. And you can't, again, and people like they're always going to use the Bible to justify things. But again, you got to look deeper on this Bible. Why would a slave master give you your truth? Like, why would they give you truth? Why would they, even as a slave, why would they? It doesn't make any sense. If you want to keep a people or a world or whatever in chains, you want to keep that truth as far as possible from them. You don't want to give them truth, even if they can't read or write or whatever. You don't want to do that. But fast forward 300 years, the chains were off, and we were allowed to we had more privileges, and we ended up opening churches and this and that, and reading from the same book, and eventually many people were able to understand the Bible and realize, okay, we're Israelites, we're not Christian. So then, why would they allow that to happen? I mean, you can't allow if there really was this war, against black people, this war while using the Bible to suppress black people. You wouldn't want them to have that because again, there's so much more secrets and information that isn't getting out, but yet somehow the Bible is true. Sometimes somehow the Bible is an Israelite book. Somehow the Bible is a black book. All of a sudden, in the end of the day, it's all fairy tale. It's all fictional. It's made up. The stories that were made up used to help suppress people, not just the black men, but also white people as well. They used it on all nations, China and in Africa and Europe. They used it so they can, control people and bring fear. You have the Bible in it, and you tell them, you're going to hell, you're going to slavery if you don't listen to what this God says. And they were killed if they didn't, and they were stoned to death if they didn't. And that's why we are in this position right now. And many Hebrew Israelites right now who are in camps, they're probably going through the same thing where they are questioning things and they're unsure, but they're afraid because again, they don't want to go to hell. They don't want to get stoned. They don't want their whatever elders or leaders to yell at them. They don't want to be punished. They want revenge. I think they know deep down they have maybe a 1% chance of actually being correct, so they want to cling to it just in case they're right, so they can get the revenge. But I think this world is more, complex than what it really is. I think there probably are many gods. I think there are probably a female gods. I think there probably isn't a god, but there's like a powerful creator spirit type of thing. I don't know. I really don't have the answers. And to say some random book, has the answers is makes it stupid. Like it's stupid. So I believe these Hebrew Israelites, should wake up to this and get out of this crap, because many of them they're just disgusting, especially the ones on YouTube. They're just disgusting, man. They want people to join their little cults, but yet they don't know how to talk to people properly. You can't just yell at them and say join us, yell at them and say you're this and that. It's I used to watch them just for entertainment and it was kind of fun and funny, but now it's like it's exhausting. It's stupid. It's overwhelming to have to sit and listen and watch them spit out Bible verses. Many people don't even care about the Bible because the Bible is. Many people are finally finding out the Bible is BS, man. All the Bible is BS. Hebrew Israelites are BS. And again, they probably didn't even exist because you go around the world, many people have never even heard of them. Like they never heard of them or seen any, again, type of evidence for a Hebrew Israelite. None whatsoever. So I don't know. Like again, Hebrew Israelite is not for me. I think it's completely bullshit. And if you're in it, I think you need to get out because once you're out, you're finally free. Once you're away from the Bible, you are finally free. Because when I was clinging to it as I was leaving. I'm clinging to it. I'm thinking I should join this camp. I should join this camp because I want something else. Because I'm clinging to it because I want it to be real. But after I let go, I was free. Like I was free from bondage. The Bible is bondage, man. Christianity, Hebrew Israelites, it's bondage. These Israelite Hebrew Israelites, leaders, they're dictators. It's a cult, man. It's really no different from Christianity. If anything, it's worse. It's worse physically. I would say emotionally, it's worse. I don't know. Okay, Christianity's worse, but Israelites, it's bad. Because you have to adapt to how they're teaching. If they say they hate the white man, you got to do that. If they're more passive, you got to do that. You have to adapt to their way. Again, it's all about control. I'm not a man that wants to be controlled or have someone or some book tell me what to do. I did in the past because I was lost. I didn't know any better. But now that I do, now that I can see that the Bible is false. The Bible is BS. The Bible is uh, garbage. Uh, there's no need for it. You become free once you give up the Bible. Once you give up religion. Once you give up cults or false cultures. Um, you know, they'll say I'm not getting into that, but again, this is pretty much sums up the video or this little rant on being a Hebrew Israelite or Israelites in the Bible. It's kind of small, very simple. Um, to conclude, the Bible's garbage. Israelites, Hebrew Israelites, they don't know better. It's a cult. They love power. They love to control. You got to kiss ass as an Israelite. You gotta be angry. You gotta be mean. You gotta be all this. But once you're away from the Bible, once you're away from Hebrew Israelitism or Christianity, you're free. You see things better. You accept and you love nature more. You love life more. You understand this world. You understand history more. The Bible is not a history book. The Bible is a tool and a weapon to suppress and to hurt and to harm and to control people. Sure, it has some good things in it. I'm sure there are some things that are probably very accurate, but I think most of it is false. It's false interpretation, and speaking of interpretation, depends who you're talking to. Talk to someone else, they interpret the Bible this way. Someone else, they interpret the Bible this way. And the other Hebrew, they interpret it. So it's all garbage. If it was a book of God, why would God create so much confusion and so much confusion, You think the God of the Bible would just make things so simple and so direct, but it's not. Like, it simply is not, because you have so many interpretations, so many Bibles, so many versions, so many books are added or erased or whatever. End of the day, don't be a Hebrew Israelite. Thank you.